Michael Angelo Batio, and I want to talk to you. We have at Sawtooth for 2026. These are in stock. We just got the shipment in a couple days ago, and it's amazing. The response has been incredible. And so I want to talk to you about this. This is the ultimate lead guitar acoustic. 24 frets! I would say of death, but I say that a lot. It's 24 frets of whatever you want to do to play on 24 frets. Now, as you saw, I ended the little intro passage on the 24th fret. Now, here's what we have. This is a red cedar top. Now, I had to look because we have so many new acoustics, and I only played this a couple days ago. It's absolutely fantastic. 24 frets. Just that alone, and there are no buzzes on the instruments. We actually just unboxed it, and I love it. You know, when you're in England, they go, "Oh, the unboxing." But we unboxed the guitar, and I tuned it up, and that's exactly what you see here. This is a production model. Now, also, this is on the back and sides Australian Blackwood. And so we have this incredible wood on this guitar, and one of the coolest features is the armrest. This armrest is so cool. We have really meticulously done binding. So you have this beautiful binding on the guitar, and then that goes along exactly with it are these thin black strips that, if you look at it up close, are perfectly done. And what we did is we increased the binding here, and it is super sturdy, it's super comfortable, it adds a nice cool look, and it adds a little bit of extra sustain to this wood that's completely around it. It's a fantastic addition, and if you got something even remotely like this, you would have to up the price to the upper echelon of the highest end guitars. And again, Sawtooth has made guitars that we have the best components out there, and it is the best price. It's the best value that you can get on the market. These guitars are record quality, and what I mean by that is this. The low end is great. You could even move it up an octave. To the top. These are great guitars. Now let's go through a couple of the other features. Just 24 frets alone, it adds an extra dimension to the playing, but what makes these guitars so great, and you've been hearing me say this for a long time, it's the intonation, and I have a little riff that I like to do to show. I'm playing perfect intervals, a fourth and a fifth on top of each other, so it's a 5, 4, 5. So these are perfect intervals. So if they go out of tune, like, you start to hear it really quickly. So I'm going to just go up the neck so you can see how perfectly intonated this guitar is. Right in from the first fret to the 24th fret, from the open strings. And that's because the bridge is put on. The tolerance that we allow is virtually none. And what I mean by that, when you manufacture something, is that a lot of acoustics, these aren't placed 100%. This is like 99.9. I don't think anything's perfect, but this is really close. And what we have here is we have oven call fretboard, an oven call bridge, then this part here, this is the bone. What did you call this, Joe?
Saddle.
A saddle. Okay,
Yes.
I never remember that because I always think of the saddles as individual pieces. But that's why it's so difficult to have an acoustic guitar intonated, because there are not individual saddles. It's one thick piece. This is bone. The nut is bone. The back, if I'm not mistaken, is still mahogany. And so you have a mahogany neck. You have this oven call fretboard, an oven call bridge. And people have talked about this. It's a rosewood type wood. And I remember somebody posting, rosewood, because I said it was endangered, and then they got into a big thing about it, but it was endangered. And see, when you bring guitars into the United States, or you have guitars made in the United States, it doesn't matter. The Fish and Wildlife part of the U.S. government goes over all the specs. I mean, we have abalone inlay here, mother of pearl here. So all the different woods, rosewood was put on an endangered wood list. And so it was a nightmare a couple of years ago to bring in anything with rosewood on it. Well, so what happens? There are substitutes, because what do you look at? Moisture content, you look at the way it feels, the way it looks. And so we started using oven call. This is not just a rosewood substitute. This is more expensive to put an oven call fretboard on than rosewood. Rosewood's readily available now. Why? Because there are alternatives that companies use, especially Sawtooth, to stop the demand of rosewood. But this guitar is absolutely incredible. It's got medium jumbo frets, which I really love. They're on the M24s. They satisfy both sides. So it's thick enough to be intonated as good as it is here. And it's also thin enough for the purists that say, oh no, we don't use a jumbo fret because that's too shred, and we don't shred because David Gilmour can put more feeling into one note than any shredder can. Shut up! I don't care. But these frets are awesome. And so, but the entire guitar, this is the lead guitar. Yeah, you can do all that. I can't even remember a Beatles song. But the point is this, you can play anything you want with finger picking, all that. But when you want to shred high, it's right there. It's just right in, and the notes are right in. It's intonated. You can't make that up. You know, this is live. I can do my sweeps. You can do whatever you can do on an electric 24 fret here. But here's a special thing. This joins on the 17th fret. Now, when they call it joining a body, when the neck aligns with the body of a guitar, they usually take the fret, which fret it is from this side, from the low string side. It joins at the 17th fret. Our cutaway is right around like the 21st fret right here into the, and if you look here, the distance between the cutaway and the sound hole is almost identical to an acoustic guitar that's got less frets. And so what we did is we have full fret access, and we kept this so that it stays in line with an acoustic guitar with less frets. And if we A-B this against another acoustic guitar, you can see that it's very similar except for one major difference, that this joins the body at frets that are higher up. you know, the 17th fret versus like the 14th or 15th. But it's an incredible guitar. It sounds great. Every part about this guitar is great. And I mean, just the ease of having an armrest. Because I know for, you know, I mean, I have 250 guitars. I know a little about guitars. When I play acoustic for a long time, there's a right angle normally on this side. And the wood starts digging in to your arm. So I'm done playing skin like this. And so, and one of the great things about this, where we extended, you know, when you see this here, is that, first of all, your arm rests pretty much in the same spot. I mean, it's not going to move that much. You know, once you figure out where you play, that's where it's going to be. This isn't really going to wear out. Okay, this is not. And also, like I said, it adds a little bit of tone. Having this binding around it, we extended the binding. It's something that other companies don't normally do. And again, you know, just like when we did the guitar, that the hybrid guitar, we did something new that people didn't do. We started using Fishman Fluence pickups before anybody else. Now everybody uses them. I'm not saying we invented Fishman Fluence, but also here we have a Fishman top-of-the-line preamp system. So whether you play it acoustically, through an amp, or both, it doesn't matter. It's going to sound incredible. But every part of this guitar is super high quality. And if you look at it up close, I mean, check this out. Check the binding. You can see this. You can see the wood here. You can see the wood on the back. And this is a jumbo. And
can you show the back, Mike? Because I haven't really seen a good. Yeah.
Okay. Can you see that,
yeah.
Or should I move it in?
No, that's good. And that's Australian Blackwood.
Yes. And it's just fantastic wood. It's got really great resonance. I've been beating the heck out of this guitar, and I'm just playing. But one of the great things, you hear that, just to play a major chord. I talked about this in other live streams. When we did the song Long Way From Home in Nitro, there's so many intervals with thirds, perfect intervals, you know, and then you have an interval of a second, and I could not find acoustic guitars that stayed in tune. I had a really cheap acoustic that Jim Gillette and I would write songs or we'd demo stuff out, but when I played Long Way, I remember it was like, it was so out in spots. I'm like, this sucks. And I said, when we were doing the record, I said, we need a really top-end acoustic guitar so I can get the intonation. Intonation is so key. I mean, it's what's pleasing to the ear. Our well-tempered system is slightly out of tune to begin with. So that's a whole other music theory thing. But our system is actually slightly out of tune. It's called well-tempered to accommodate all the keys. But you don't want thirds, especially. It exposes. That exposes bad intonation immediately. I auditioned at least 15 or more guitars. We had to go to a rental place to rent an acoustic when I was in Nitro to do Long Way From Home. I just sat there for a couple hours and played guitar after guitar. And we picked a super high-end guitar. This thing was worth thousands and thousands of dollars. It was when I found one, it was perfectly in. This guitar for the price point is equally, if not better, intonated. And all the Sawtooth guitars, I've used these a lot. When I played Dreamin' of 1986, one of my more popular songs from my last solo album, Sawtooth Acoustics. They are fantastic. And then, Joe, is there anything you want? We have one of the main owners of Sawtooth manning the camera here. Is there anything you want?
Yeah, I think we should point out that this is the first time we used a red cedar top. right, which gives a great softness to a hard wood. So the Australian Blackwood is a harder wood, so you capture that soft top end with that really booming more volume with the hardwood in back and sides.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
it a really unique tone.
Now, also too, I'm left-handed, but when I started playing guitar, there were no left-handed guitars available. I mean, unless someone can tell me that this is incorrect, there are only two instruments on planet Earth in Western music. And Western, when I say because our tonal system is all over the world, but it really is well-tempered, and it's there's a whole other side of it. So, but anyway, the point is that guitar and drums are the only two instruments I know that you can buy left-handed versions. That you can, because drums, all you have to do is move the hi-hat to the other side of the drum. It ain't rocket science. But look at Hendrix. Hendrix had to take a right-handed guitar, flip it over, and restring it left-handed. So all the volume and tone controls were on the top. You don't believe me? Go watch a video. And that's what happened a lot in the past. If somebody was left-handed, I remember watching Albert King when I was a kid playing those flying V's. He was left-handed. And what did he do? He just took a right-handed guitar. Now, granted, the nut, and you have to reverse a few things, but there were no left-handed guitars. Sawtooth has left-handed versions available in all our new guitars, and many of the guitars in the line. We are one of the only companies to offer a huge array of left-handed instruments. So, when people say, what's the difference between the right-handed one and the left-handed? Nothing, except for one's right-handed and one's left-handed. So, what you see is what you get. This is stock, 100% out of the box. So I'll just play a little bit and just show you. I'll just play a couple of things, and I'm noodling around, but I've showed you the shred all the way to the 24th fret, and I just want to show you some of the intonation of the guitar. Sawtooth rules. These acoustic guitars rule. You can get them at godpsmusic.com, and we have a 25% off introductory sale on this. So the price point alone, you have to spend thousands of dollars more to get a guitar with these kinds of features, and you won't get a 24 fret with this. This is the ultimate lead guitar for rhythm. You can do anything on rhythm, extra frets, and the intonation is spot on. I'm Michael Angelo Batio for Sawtooth Musical Instruments. See.